Hi, I'm Pam Rollins. I work for Walt Disney Imagineering. I'm an executive producer.
Hi, I'm Roger Gould, the creative director at Pixar Animation Studios Theme Parks team. Worked with Pam creating Toy Story Land at Disney Hollywood Studios. It was really exciting when we started this because it was really the beginning of the transformation of Disney Hollywood Studios from a behind-the-scenes making-of park into an immersive story park. We opened Toy Story Mania in 2008 when Disney Hollywood Studios was a behind-the-scenes story. So we had Pixar Place and this idea you were kind of coming to our studio, and then when you went in the building, you could have crossed the threshold to be in the world of the toys where everything was giant. But this was the opportunity to now say, no, we're going to transform Disney Hollywood Studios into an immersive storytelling park. You're going to be in a Toy Story Land the whole time. You're going to be the size of a toy.
It's almost a little easier, don't you think?
Yeah, it's a simple, clean story.
We had so much fun thinking about how we were going to bring this backyard to life. Plus, we had 11 acres to play with, and we were going to be the size of a toy. So all these oversized toys, what we were going to put in, we had 2 attractions that we could think about, how we were going to put Toy Story Mania, how we were going to flip that entrance. There were all these great possibilities, and we went to Pixar, 2 or 3 times. You came to Glendale, and we just, with all the paper and sketches, it was a really fun work sessions. It was probably the best time of my life.
What we love about that immersive sense of everything is a giant toy, whether it's a bench or a light post or a garbage can, there's nothing human scale. Everything is interpreted as a toy. And here we had to say, how would you bring it to life in a huge way? Toy Story is tricky because the story has continued to move forward and forward and forward. And even while we were building this, Toy Story 4 was in production. And we didn't even know how that movie was going to end when we started building this Toy Story Land. So we had a choice to make about where we were in time. And we said, you know what? We're not going to pick an exact chronological moment in the history of Toy Story. We're going to make kind of our idealized Toy Story Land. This is Andy's backyard, but all of the friends that we've met over the years, even though they came out, we met them in Bonnie's room and we met them, at Sunnyside Daycare. We said, you know what? Everyone's invited, because we wanted to kind of create our sort of perfect memory of Toy Story without getting too hung up on exactly where we were in time.
We had a sort of a timeline between the 1950s and the 1990s, and I just researched, toys that were around that time and just started buying them and sending them to the offices, and they would sit on our desks, and our character paint experts would look at it and look at the texture, the plastic, and we would send it to the vendors and we go, we want Slinky to look like this. It needs to have this seam here, That was probably the best part of it all. We wanted this land to be family oriented. It's a coaster where Andy has taken his mega coaster and has looked at Slinky and he said, how can I put Slinky on and make this a fantastic coaster? Andy's created this, and you can even hear the coils as you're going over these camel humps, and it just is his imagination.
We really challenged the ride engineers to put in every slinkified move they could. And we sat there a lot playing with the Slinky Dog toy going, okay, can we twist? Can we dip? Can we turn? And so when you're sitting in the back row especially, and you watch the Slinky ahead of you, you really see that we got all the slinkification we wanted.
And then you have alien swirling saucers. You know that Andy has won all these tickets at Pizza Planet. He's cashed them in. He has his toy set. He's mashed it up against another toy set that he has. You're in a rocket. They're in their saucer. They're trying to evade the claw. Gave us an opportunity to add more of Andy's imagination inside.
What's really important is that Andy is not an engineer, right? So he might build a stack of Jenga or wooden blocks, but there's going to be a lot of stuff askew, which is not what engineers normally want to hear. Oh, we want everything off angle, but everybody committed to that so that this should feel spontaneous. When we make a movie, you can sit in the theater when it first comes out and hear that audience reaction, and it's so special. Being able to walk into Toy Story and see the joy and the happiness that all of our hard work and all of our friendship has now brought to other people, it means everything.
Put your head Lord.